What's up everyone, I'm Toast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing the latest pseudo-legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Go, Baxcalibur, a Dragon and Ice-type Pokemon. I'm running it as a closer in an ABB style team for the Ultra League, with Toxicroak in the lead and Kyurem as the safe swap. As most of you will know, I've had a bit of a charge TM issue recently and haven't been able to get the right moves on any of the newly buffed Pokemon this season that I've been wanting to try, so these are actually the first Ultra League battles I've done all season. I actually hadn't battled at all since last Thursday, so again, I'm still in the early ranks, so don't expect all of my opponents to be world beaters. With that being said, let's just get straight into the question of the day. What is your favourite pseudo-legendary Pokemon? This doesn't have to be specific for Pokemon Go, it can be for the main series games. Just let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we Toxicroak into Sylveon. Now, when I was building this team, I wasn't expecting to see too many Charmers in the meta. Toxicroak can deal with most Fairy types, but in this situation, if the opponent wants to, they can double shield and fully charm farm me all the way down, which would be an absolute nightmare if it is the case. We go for the second Sludge Bomb, and we grab the final shield there. This is really unfortunate. We've got two Dragon-type Pokemon in the back. Dragon Breaths are double resisted, Charm hitting for super effective damage. They full send a Moonblast, which is fortunate for me, and no debuff to my attack. They then come in with a Fire Spin Charizard, also not the most optimal fast move to run on Charizard. You do typically want to run Wing Attack or maybe Dragon Breath if you want that fast move pressure, but here we're now going to swap into our Baxcalibur. I am going to use a shield here. I know that Sylveon did just full send a Moonblast, so they're unlikely to reach another charge move that quickly. We're going to see the opponent comes in with a Venusaur. I can overfarm in this matchup, throwing just before they make it to a Frenzy Plant, and this Avalanche will be one-shotting the Venusaur. They come back in with the Sylveon. We make it to Avalanche number 2, and here you get to see the insane closing power of the Baxcalibur as I take out the Sylveon, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Charizard in the lead, so I'm going to safe swap into my Kyurem straight away. This time they are correctly running the Wing Attack, which is a much better fast move. They go straight for a Dragon Claw, can't really afford to shield this up. I was expecting the opponent to swap out anyways, and it's a good thing I didn't shield because we get absolutely walled by this Cobalion. Now here you see I didn't actually throw there. It was kind of tactical, making my opponent throw their energy, meaning I can come in with my Toxicroak and potentially just fully counter farm them all the way down. We do resist everything here. Sacred Sword will be resisted, and a Stone Edge, if they're running it, which they probably will also be resisted, but non-stab, so it makes a lot more sense for them to just go straight Sacred Sword in this matchup. But here I'm able to get the full counter farm down, come out with like 98 energy. We go for Sludge Bomb number 1. This should be grabbing a shield from the opponent. It does, and we go for Sludge Bomb number 2. I'm hoping to get all shields down in this matchup, and we do exactly that. Now, unfortunately, this Charizard does have a lot of energy, so I'm going to shield once. They then swap into Giratina, and this is my opening here to win. We're going to shield up the first Dragon Claw, and then I will be able to overfarm and go for the Avalanche just as they make it to the second Dragon Claw, and Avalanche will be super effective. It will take out the Giratina, and we will make it to a Dragon Claw. I wasn't sure just how much energy they had, so we go for it straight away. Possibly could have gone for the Avalanche there, as they do reach a Dragon Claw just before we get the farm down, but Dragon Claw takes us out. We're able to counter farm them down with the Toxicroak, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Muck in the lead, so a very nice matchup for the Toxicroak. We do resist everything they can throw, as well Mud Bomb will be super effective. The opponent tries to make a catch there. Nice play, but I do hold on to the energy. I'm now going to come in with the Kyurem, shield the first charge move, as I do run Glaciate, which will debuff this Giratina's attack, so the next Dragon Claw that they get off will do less damage. They also choose to no shield that, and now I will be able to fully Dragon Breath farm them all the way down from this range, and we do have a little bit of residual energy to throw into the Virizion coming in here, and this Glaciate should be grabbing a shield. It will not be enough damage to take them out, but they might as well use a shield, and here I didn't want to get fully farmed down, so instead I come in with my Toxicroak. I'm able to get to the Sludge Bomb, throwing it on the CMP tie with this charge move, and here once again we resist everything they can throw. Even if they are running Stone Edge, once again it will be resisted. Leaf Blade gonna be resisted. The Sacred Sword is also resisted, I couldn't remember what it was called there, but now we can go for a Sludge Bomb, throwing on the CMP tie, winning the CMP, and then here they come back in with their Alolan Muck. I can safely let this move go through, could have shielded it up, but it doesn't really matter. We want to come in with the Baxcalibur. It is our closer and the Pokemon we are showcasing in this video, so we might as well use it here. We go and shield up the Acid Spray, doesn't really matter, we could have lived that, but Dragon Claw takes out the Alolan Muck, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Toxicroak into Steelix. Now, I did see quite a lot of Steelix in my matchups here, but this was really interesting, and something that I wanted to try as well is running Thunderfang on Steelix, and also running Psychic Fangs. And I was thinking, if I had the idea, maybe this opponent also has the idea, and they are running Psychic Fangs. And what that does is that actually allows you to flip the matchup up against Tapu Fini, which is supposed to be Steelix's hardest counter. So yeah, really smart play by the opponent there, but unfortunately it's kind of a little bit better for me that they're not running Dragon Tail, because it means my Kyurem and my Baxcalibur can actually fight against it. But here they come in with the Giratina, of course. We are quite far into this matchup, and because I'm not running Dragon Claw, unfortunately they do outpace me to the next charge move and take me out there. But now I can come in with my Baxcalibur. They are in range where I can fully Dragon Breath, farm them down just before they make it to a Dragon Claw, and now they come back in with the Steelix. I am fully anticipating that they're going to be running the Breaking Swipe as well, but it doesn't really matter. It's not going to do too much damage, and of course we are resisting the Thunderfang damage, so Breaking Swipe coming through doesn't do too much there. I should be able to fully Dragon Breath, farm them down, the opponent recognizing that, so they swap into their Toxicroak just to get a slight energy advantage, but we can come in with our own. We did have an energy advantage already. We go for the Mud Bomb, and that does a lot of damage here. They go for a Mud Bomb of their own. We can go for the Dragon Claw. This will be enough damage to take out the Toxicroak, and did the Steelix bank any energy? It doesn't look like it, as I'm able to Dragon Breath, farm them down, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, another Steelix in the lead. This time, they're going to swap straight away into a Shadow Charizard. Now, this is a little bit tricky. Shadow Charizard, probably one of the hardest things for this team to beat here. And unfortunately, I over-tapped there. I tried to throw off the 3 Dragon Breaths, but I ended up throwing too late, and unfortunately we lose the CMP tie. Couldn't afford to double shield straight away, and now they will be able to fully wing attack, farm me all the way down there, and that is so unfortunate. We now come in with the Baxcalibur. I'm gonna let this move go through. It is a Blast Burn that does a ton of damage, and I might have just thrown this game away here as they have a Swampert in the back. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with me right now, but try to ignore the stupid noises that I'm making. We're now going to shield up here, and it is a Hydro Cannon. I can get to a Mud Bomb just before, well, actually throwing on the CMP tie, but it's not going to be enough damage to take out the Swampert from this range. They will be able to take me out with a Hydro Cannon, and whilst Baxcalibur can hit for nice damage with the Avalanche up against the Steelix, it is way too healthy. Here, I just wanted to see how much damage this would do, just so if we're in a similar situation in an end game up against another Steelix, then we do know that it does about 30-35% of their health there. But GG's to that opponent there. I definitely threw that in the mid game. But into the next game, we see a Purified Snorlax in the lead. They swap into Togekiss, and this is really bad for me. I don't have a great answer here. Obviously, once again, up against Charmers, I wasn't really expecting to see many of them, but I did see a lot of Togekiss in these battles. It was the same as last season. I went on holiday during the early parts of the season, so when I came back into the Ultra League, I was very far behind, and I saw so many Togekiss in these early rank battles. I guess it's just what people have at this rank. But here I'm going to use a shield, and I will be able to go for 2 counters before going for a Sludge Bomb, as the damage from the second charm will not register anyway, so might as well go for the second counter. They come back in with the Snorlax. They do get the Lick Farm down, and now it's all up to Baxcalibur. Now, also, because it's an early rank battle, I have no idea what they could be running as their second charge move. They do bait with a Body Slam, so we throw on the CMP tie here, winning CMP, and this Dragon Claw will be taking out the Snorlax, and they've actually got a Zapdos in the back, so quite fortunate that it's not a Shadow Zapdos, because you're going to see Drill Peck does a ton of damage there, but we do survive. We make it to the Avalanche, and this will easily one-shot the Zapdos, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Toxicroak into Venusaur. So this is a pretty good matchup, but I'm going to swap out anyways, and we see an Obstagoon coming in, so good thing we did swap out here. We bait out the counter user, they go for a Night Sash, and they get the boost. I'm committing to the Draco Meteor, and we don't get there in time, so that is really unfortunate, but what it does is allow me to get a very nice farm on my Toxicroak, and even though they are boosted, Night Sash is resisted, it doesn't do much damage, and we're going to come out with nearly a Sludge Bomb loaded, so that's actually worked out quite well for us there. Obviously, I would have preferred to get off the Draco Meteor and force a shield, but it doesn't really matter too much. And now we come in with the Baxcalibur, and we core break their team as they've got a Swampert in the back, and the opponent not even farming to the Earthquake there. Absolutely fine with me. I'm now going to go for an Avalanche throwing just as they're making it to Hydro Cannon. Number 2, it barely doesn't take them out, but the opponent doesn't react in time. They're not able to get off the charge move, and now they come back in with the Venusaur. We can shield up the Frenzy Plant here. I'm just going to farm to the back-to-back Dragon Claws, and I will be able to shield the second Frenzy Plant coming through. We go for the first Dragon Claw here, and this will be grabbing the final shield from the opponent. And we're one Dragon Breath away from the next Dragon Claw, and this won't quite be enough damage to take them out, but it will put them into range where we can Dragon Breath, farm them down, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Toxicroak into Giratina. So bad lead, gonna say swap into my Kyurem, and the opponent responds with a Charizard. And this is actually a little bit better now that we do have an energy advantage. We can go for that Glaciate, and we will be able to get it off before they make it to a potential Dragon Claw. I'm going to let the first move go through here, and the opponent does go for that Dragon Claw. They will now outpace me to the next charge move, but I don't mind using one shield if I grab both shields from my opponent here. So I'm going to go for the Glaciate just before they make it to the next Dragon Claw to take me out, and the opponent is going to use their final shield, so that's fine with me. We also put them into range where I should be able to Dragon Breath, farm them down before they make it to another charge move. The opponent recognizing that, and they swap straight away into the Giratina. So I'm going to use a shield here, and hopefully we can make it to an Avalanche before they make the next charge move, and we do barely get there in time. An Avalanche will be taking out the Giratina, and they've got a Shadow Mewtwo in the back, so we swap, we catch the Side Strike, and they could probably fully undercharge this. It would still one-shot the Toxicroak there, but now I can come in, go for a Dragon Claw, over-farming just a little bit. I wasn't quite sure how much energy the Charizard had in the back, but I'm able to fully Dragon Breath, farm them down anyways, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent. Very nice spice with that Shadow Mewtwo in the back. Into the next game, a very good lead into Cobalion. The opponent's actually staying in, so very likely that they are core broken by the Toxicroak. Otherwise, I would assume they probably say swap, and they do eventually swap out into their Dragonite. So maybe they're not core broken, maybe they just wanted to chip a little bit and maybe catch a Mud Bomb. But here I'm able to fully Dragon Breath, farm down the Dragonite, and they've got a Togekiss in the back, and this is actually really awkward for us. I do debuff their attack, but Toxicroak kind of needs to carry this game here. So we're going to come in with the Toxicroak, go for a Sludge Bomb. Maybe I actually should have come in with the Baxcalibur and gone for an Avalanche there to grab their final shield, because now we do barely make it to a Sludge Bomb, but this Toxicroak is incredibly low, and it actually doesn't quite take them out there. That is so bad for me, because now there's just nothing we can do with our Baxcalibur up against this Cobalion. If the Toxicroak survived with about even 10 HP, we probably would be able to fully counter farm them down in the end game, because Avalanche will get them incredibly low, and I think they are in range where I could probably take them out with 2 or 3 counters here. So really unfortunate, but GG's to that opponent. And into the next game, we see Toxicroak into a Blaziken, so very good lead for us. I probably will end up shielding just in case. I mean, I don't know what they've got in the back, and I don't want to risk them fully counter farming me down here, so I shield up the Blaziken. I'm now going to over farm. The opponent goes for a catch. I'm going to throw the Mud Bomb anyways, just to make it a little bit more comfortable, and then I will build up to a second Mud Bomb there as we come in with the Kyurem, and they can go for an Earthquake. I am going to use my shield, but they bait with a Hydro Cannon, and now I'm going to throw on the CMP tire with the next Earthquake here. If they do full send it, they might as well, as I've not got any shields remaining, so it is very good that I'm able to debuff them first, as Earthquake doesn't do as much damage, and I will get the full Dragon Breath farm down. They now come in with an Aggron. I was not expecting to see this, but we go for the Glaciate, debuffing their attack. They're able to smack down, farm me down. We come in with the Toxicroak, and here I'm just going to bank that energy, come come in with the Baxcalibur, the opponent makes it to a charge move, Blaze Kick does big damage. I'm actually going to let them get off a few more counters there so that they don't get the farm down, and now we can come in with our Toxicroak, and because we only let them get off one more smackdown, I will outpace them to 2 mud bombs here, and this second mud bomb is going to be double super effective damage. It will easily take out the aggron, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see another Steelix in the lead, so going to stay in this matchup. They're also going to stay in this matchup, and because they're running Dragon Tail, I think they're less likely to run Psychic Fang, so I let it go through. It is just the breaking swipe, so that's fine with me. We now go for a mud bomb there, grabbing a shield from the opponent, and the opponent tries to make a catch there onto their Trevenant. We come in with our kyurem here, and I can shield the first charge move, and then I will overfarm quite considerably in this matchup before eventually going for a Glaciate here. And I do throw just before they make it to a Seed Bomb, so actually I'm going to undercharge this, get off 1 extra Dragon Breath there to take out the Trevenant, and they come in with a Greninja. Now unfortunately, once again, not running Dragon Claw, I'm running Draco Meteor. It hasn't really helped us at all so far in these battles, but trust me, you will get to see one of them land in the battle later in this video. But because of the debuff, I'm able to survive the Night Slash, make it to another Glaciate, grab the final shield, and then I tried to swipe with my Baxcalibur. Unfortunately, the opponent comes in with the Steelix, so not the best there from my end, but I will be able to make it to an Avalanche, and even though we're debuffed, this Avalanche will nearly take out the Steelix. We get the Dragon Breath farm down, and I'm able to Dragon Breath, farm down the Greninja, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Toxicroak into Machamp, so great lead for us here. We do resist basically everything, unless they're running like Heavy Slam, but that's very unlikely. And the opponent does overfarm quite considerably. This might be a payback. It is the payback, but it is still resisted. I will be able to take them out here with a Mud Bomb, or even if they shield, I've got a second Mud Bomb loaded, but the opponent lets it go through. They come in with a Charizard. I'm going to come in with my Kyurem here, shield the first move, as they go for a Dragon Claw, and now I will be able to go for a Glaciate, debuffing their attack, meaning they're going to have to go for a Blast Burn to take us out, because Dragon Claw just won't do quite enough damage here. So I'm going to let this move go through, and the opponent does go for that Blast Burn. We go for the Glaciate, but we don't quite get there in time. That's really unfortunate, but now I'm going to come back in with my Toxicroak, hoping to grab a shield with the Mud Bomb. This is single resisted, so it probably won't take them out, and the opponent does actually let it go through. We go for the counter farm down, we barely get it, and they've got a Swampert in the back. Now this is a baiting game here. If they go for the Earthquake, that will do a ton of damage, so I'm going to respect it. They did build up to it, but it's just a Hydro Cannon bait. And now speaking of baits, I'm going to go for my own bait, going for the Dragon Claw, and Dragon Claw grabs the final shield from the opponent, but they're already at an Earthquake. Can we lift the Earthquake here? Yes, we barely can, and we will make it to an Avalanche in time, and this will be enough damage to take out the Swampert, and I'm able to take that game. But I think we definitely won that game because of the slight nerf to Earthquake in its damage this season. But into the next game, we see a Charizard in the lead. So I'm going to say swap into my Kyurem here, and we're met with a Machamp. Now they will barely outpace us to the charge move, and this is a mistake. I let this go through. Cross Chop will take me out here. I'm expecting that I'm not going to be able to flip that matchup, but what I really want to do is get as many shields as possible, because when shields are down, Baxcalibur can go to town, as King would say about Shadow Zapdos. But here we come in, we will be able to not quite farm them down there. Didn't want to get too low, and now this is just another mistake here. If I'd have gone for a shield and went for a Glaciate, could have grabbed a shield back up against that Machamp, and then I would have also put them into range where Toxicroak could have fully farmed them down there. But now we've got 2 shields, but it doesn't really matter because Charizard has so much loaded energy that they make it to another Dragon Claw before we even reach our own Dragon Claw here. So yeah, I think this is looking like a lost cause here, but we're going to play it out anyways. We go for the Dragon Claw, and Dragon Claw will be grabbing the final shield from the opponent. We should barely live a Dragon Claw from this range. It's going to be close, but we do live it there, and we do make it to another Dragon Claw. So we're about to find out what this opponent has in the back, and they've got a Greninja. So I swap into my Toxicroak here, forcing them to throw their energy straight away, but unfortunately they're just so spammy with the Night Slashes that I will not be able to outpace them to a Dragon Claw, and from this range, Dragon Claw probably barely doesn't quite take them out there. but Nice Ash takes out the Baxcalibur, and we do unfortunately lose that game. So GG's to that opponent there, and into the final battle of this video, we see a Jellicent in the lead, gonna say swap into Kyurem, and they don't swap out, so I'm expecting they don't have the best response here, but I'm not going to use a shield, and it's just a Surf Bait, which is perfect for me, and here, this is where Draco Meter comes in clutch. They're not going to be expecting it, so we full send it, and we one-shot the Jellicent there, and then they now come in with a Virizion. They go for a charge move straight away, fine with me, gonna let this move go through. Sacred Sword does take us out. Now, we are switch locked, they're not switch locked, so I'm going to wait out my switch clock here and go for the Toxicroak coming back in. The opponent's staying in, so not sure what they've got in the back, but this is a pretty good matchup for us here. And now I'm going to overfarm, go for that Sludge Bomb just before they make it to the next charge move. And Sludge Bomb grabs a shield from the opponent, so they're clearly very weak to Toxicroak in the back. But I'm going to let this next move go through. And here I will just fully commit to the full counter farm down, shielding up this charge move. And I should put them into range where we can farm them down before they make it to the next charge move. And we have so much loaded energy. And this is why they weren't swapping out. They've got Alolan Muck in the back. We go for Mud Bomb, grabbing a shield, and it's actually a Snarl Alolan Muck as well, so they're dealing very little fast move pressure. We go for the Mud Bomb here, and I will be able to make it to a third Mud Bomb, and this will be enough damage to take out the Alolan Muck from this range, and I'm able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.